All right, folks, welcome to the MacNSeitz 14U live broadcast. This will be the Battle of Omaha, game number 2 for our MacNSeitz Black team, facing up against the Howard County Cubs. And so we got to watch a little bit of their game here, preceding their first game, just preceding ours. And so they come away victorious with a run rule. And so they are 1-0 in pool play. Obviously, if you were able to join the hot mess of the stream that we had here to begin previously, with all the freezing and everything else like that, we were able to come up with a draw. So game noise is way up here. Okay. Oh, and I know why. All right, that should.
Are you serious?
There we go. Trying to make some of those adjustments. All right, so if you were able to join us a little bit earlier, what you would have saw was a pretty sloppy game, really by both teams, MacNSeitz and also the Tide. And so the long and short is that we came back with some run production there late in the game and eked away with a draw because the time did expire on that particular game. So it was good that we were able to battle back, show a little bit of grit and perseverance, and maybe a little bit low here. Okay. Well, let's see if I can ramp that up just a little bit here and see if that's a little bit better. Well, regardless, we are all set here to begin play in game number 2. This is pool play game number 2 for both teams, the Howard County Cubs. MacNSeitz draws that home billing, and so we will have that home advantage and able to bat last. Up at the plate now for the Cubs, H. Smith. Pop up right out of the gate. Second baseman calling for it and does a fantastic job making his way over for out number 1. Up there on the hill for MacNSeitz right now is Alex Kilgrove. Couple of good outings in his last 2 outings. I tell you what, pitched a complete game, giving up just 4 runs. I think only had 1 walk. And that is one of the things that you can say about Alex is he's going to throw strikes. Guys are going to put the ball in play, and this one does. It gets over down the third base line, and he's going to. And a good throw by Tucker Lee will save that extra base. Thought they were going to make it all the way over to second base. He rounded hard, went halfway, and Tucker was able to make his way over to the foul line, which is right where it ended up at, and he made a hard throw into second. And so the Cubs do end up with a single right there. But 1 down here early in the first. Pickoff attempt, and that one gets by the first baseman. But the Cubs unable to take advantage of that little lapse of focus there on MacNSeitz. I got to tell you, it is a screaming hot day right now. We are thankful for the breeze that we are getting. It does kind of ebb and flow. Showing bunt. Runner goes. And throw not quite in time. Didn't get any bump off that bounce on the one hopper over there to second. So that'll put a runner in scoring position at second base. Still just one down. And Cubs swinging away here early. That is the one thing that you'll say about Kilman. You know, he's not going to kill you with his velocity. And so these guys kind of see this beach ball coming in. They feel like they're going to hammer, and there's just so much movement on it. That's going to be the trick. And so as long as Kilman can kind of keep it in the zone here, I imagine he's going to be good. Right back to Kilman. And, they got a little pickle going over there at third base. Oh, come on. And they do get him. Nicely done. And so what we'll end up ruling out as a fielder's choice, but Kilman, who was looking to hold that runner from advancing from second to third, he just kind of gets caught out in no man's land. Kilman does the exact right thing and runs at the runner before just throwing the ball. And so now we end up in a better position now with 2 outs and just a runner on first base. Thought that throw over to second was going to be a little bit late. But as it turned out, it was just in time, and they were able to put that tag as that runner was trying to get back to second. So kind of an exciting play here to start in top of the first. Runner goes, and off of that off speed, there was just no chance that was going to get there in time. You know, Kilman does not have a slow delivery by any measure. Not necessarily something I would say is a fast delivery, but obviously lacking a little bit in the velocity end. And then if it's coming on an off-speed pitch, that's going to give any runner attempting to steal maybe a little bit of an advantage. And Kilman's still continuing to work the runners, really trying to protect every single base, and that's something that I love to see. This is number 44, Jay McNulty. Close calls, but MacNSeitz kind of dialing it in here and making a nice play, catching a Howard County Cub out in no man's land between second and third, and then coming up with a nice fly ball out there in right field. Looks like our stream went down momentarily. I tell you what, folks, the first stream was just a hot mess, going up and down and freezing and all kinds of stuff. I did some testing that I didn't have time for, at least initially, before that first game. And so I switched out from Verizon to T-Mobile. And I'm hoping for maybe a little bit better viewing experience for you guys out there joining us. Now, I didn't get a chance to go over those starting lineups because the game started rather quickly. I thought we had a few minutes, but we did not. So leading off for MacNSeitz. Oh, you know what? That's not the right one. Leading off for MacNSeitz in this game is going to be number 23, Brody Ryson, followed by number 5, Mason Gellender. Hitting in the 3-hole, number 27, Tucker Lee, and then batting cleanup, Parker Simons, followed by Sebastian Wingrove. Then Paxton Crowther, followed by Alex Kilman and Cooper McCowan, Bryson Spear, and then rounding out the lineup for our MacNSeitz Black is Grant Warren. This one fouls out of play right side. So Brody having a pretty decent game out at the plate here in the first matchup. Stretching one out for a double. And well behind on that one. That fastball coming in 68 miles an hour. And you'll see that in the top right of your screen. That ball well high. So Ryson wisely lays off. And a good AB here so far to start. Now 2-2 count. I always talk about getting down a little deeper in the count. You tend to get a better pitch to hit. And he sure does right there. And that's a fly out to center. So he gets the bat on it, puts the ball in play, but obviously didn't go his way, and center field's out there waiting for him. So that'll be one down, and that's going to bring up number 5, Mason Gellender. Now that pitch coming in 74 miles an hour. So that's kind of what I figured. I just kind of had a little bit of a feeling that as a young man up there, Parks, working on the bump, just kind of getting warmed up and starting to feel himself a little. Pop fly, this one left side. It gets down, and it is fair, folks. No kidding. Right there. Players are calling it. They're saying, hey, they thought that was foul. But the home plate umpire calls that fair. And Gellender up with a single. That brings up number 27, Tucker Lee, to the plate. That pitch missing just inside, 67 miles an hour. So Tuck having a pretty good day at the plate here in that first game. Hoping that he can continue things here for MacNSeitz as we're in the early go here in the first inning. That one down right at his feet. Runner goes, but incredibly late, and he's thrown out at second base. Unbelievable. So it was a pass ball situation as that pitch came in right at Lee's feet. And Mason kind of a little bit delayed on that advancement over to second base. So a piece of luck there for the Howard County Cubs, and now Tuck will work with 2 outs. And a wild pitch, this one actually behind Tucker Lee. And so 3 pitches, 3 balls. And absolutely 0 to hit there. Lee will take his base, and that's going to bring up number 27, Parker Simons. Parker with a big hit in that first game gave us that go-ahead run, and there for a short while, MacNSeitz was up 5-4. But ultimately, that game coming out as a tie, right at 7-7. So Lee with good speed over there at first. I'll be interested to see if they try to challenge the Cubs here at all. I think with 2 outs and no score on the board, I'm not sure if we need to be super aggressive, but I just don't like having the force out at second. And so we'll see if he gets the call. Good lead over there, not significant, but pickoff attempt over at first. And Lee back up easily. This one in play, right over to chopper over to third. And that is out number 3. So third baseman doing a good job, looked very calm and relaxed. Fielded that chopper, took a couple of steps and didn't rush those. Made a nice throw over to first, making it look as routine as it should. And so MacNSeitz with not a lot of luck there in the bottom of the first, but still a 0-0 game right now. And I can tell you what, that's better than we were sitting in that first matchup. So maybe these guys can kind of dial it in here and play to their capability. Kilman doing a good job on the bump there and top of the first. Let's see if he can continue that here. Short audio break. We'll leave you guys with, I don't know. How about a little Tarantella? So Kilman missing on a curveball there. First pitch to start. That is number 7, Rowe, up for the Howard County Cubs. Pop up. That one is going to get out of play. So nice hustle by catch. That's Brody Ryson. Looked like he took some cleats to his right calf there. Pop fly left side. And Tucker Lee tracks that one down for out number 1. So Kilman continuing to find the ground balls and the pop flies, and that's exactly what we've come to expect of him when he's been working on the bump. Swing and a miss. A little excitement in the game behind us. I'm not sure exactly what was going on, but looks like the umpires are running somebody out of the complex, and he's running his mouth. Pop fly left side again, and that one is foul. Lee's not able to get there. I tell you what, he really should have. He had his glove up in the air a little too early, and really should have just been pumping those arms, trying to get there a little quicker. Maybe an opportunity for some improvement, but he did cover a lot of ground there, getting out to foul territory. But no harm, no foul. That's number 12 for the Cubs. Cunningham up at the plate. Number of foul offs. And he rips this one left side. That'll be good for a single. I will say I think Cunningham did a good job sitting on those curveballs and off speeds by Kilman. So definitely has the capacity and capability to hit some of those off speeds. You'll see at this age bracket, it's kind of hit and miss. Some guys have that ability to really sit on the ball well, and then drive through it. All right, folks, I apologize. Missed the call there, but a couple of runners do advance, but MacNSeitz comes up with out number 2. And the Cubs now here threatening in top of the second. 2 runners in scoring position, second and third base. MacNSeitz with 2 down. And strike one. So that is number 99, Davis, at the plate for the Cubs. Takes his call from the third base coach. And a swing and a miss. Ball in play. This one over to shortstop. And that is out number 3. So the Cubs leave 2 stranded. And our score still 0-0. And I tell you what, if I could just bum a little, like a handful of ice off you, they're out here just handing out ice. You're amazing. Thank you so much.
Do you have a cup or anything? No, I just.
Say it again? Yes.
Sorry, I got excited about ice.
I did too. All right, so as everybody, fans and players alike, continue to battle this heat. Set of the parents over here at MacNSeitz had a little extra ice, and they were passing it out, so I think all of us kind of scrambled and lost a little track of the game there. But Bryson Spear coming up with that out number 3, which was good to see because he had a little bit of a bad hop on one earlier in the inning, but comes up clean there and no runs scored. So that is number 24 up there on the hill for the Cubs. And so, come up here with a couple of different innings, and now we're going to get a little bit of a different look. So that is number 24, Smith, for the Cubs. He'll continue to work from the mound there. And so as he warms up, looks like we are going to have Sebastian Wingrove followed by Paxton Crowther. I was giving old Seabass kind of a little bit of a hard time here in between games. They were talking about an LSU gymnast that all these young 14-year-old guys are following. And I was remarking about how I thought that she looked a lot like one of my nieces. And the boys looked at me like I was cross-eyed and crazy. And that was a lot of fun. I was giving them a hard time. And I told him, I was like, man, maybe you can hit the ball if you weren't so cross-eyed. But he took it in stride, and he's got a pretty good sense of humor. A little bit like my son, Tucker Lee, who kind of tends to be a little bit of a smart aleck from time to time, but all in good fun. So Seabass stepping into the box, and he's ready to roll. Looks like Smith will start from the windup. That pitch coming in 74 miles an hour. So some good velocity right there to start. And swing and a miss there. Bat coming in just underneath the pitch. That pitch almost in the exact same spot, coming in just high. Seabass wisely lays off this time. And a foul tip right there. Seabass just behind on that one. Fastball 73. And Winstrike. Smith misses with a curveball. So good AB so far for Wingrove. 6 pitches in here. Oh, a strike 3 call. Wingrove was headed to first base, and he's going to have to alter his path a little bit as he's going to head to the dugout. And now that brings up number 21, Paxton Crowther. You know, Paxton struggled here at the plate just a bit. I think he's been the recipient of some kind of questionable ball strike type. And even on that one right there, a little bit of a delayed call on the strike. Those are the types of things that, as a batter, you kind of have to. So Kilman steps out. Swing and a miss. I think that one might have been a slider. He rolls over on that one. Chopper right back. Up 3 down. So that'll take us to top of the third. Still 0-0. And another short audio break here as I try to make some adjustment on this crazy live stream.
Over and it's weird, so.
Yep, it's doing it.
Is it? So T-Mobile's, well, the phone cell is just.
All my speed tests and everything for T-Mobile were fantastic. So Verizon was not working well at all.
It was fine for like 5 minutes, and then it's like it drops the live feed and then hits it again and starts it over.
Fly ball right side, Paxton Crowther, and that is a fair ball. Single right on the line. I tell you what, Paxton Crowther did a great job getting to the ball. That easily could have been an extra base hit.
Forgot my tripod. Had it.
I've got a couple.
I've been sitting for 3 hours.
I got you.
I brought you Gatorade.
I'm good for now.
Is this the cooler here with no ice?
Yes. And they rope that one for a single. With a pair of back-to-back singles. So often that we've seen with Kilman, he's able to get those ground balls and pop flies, and He did get a pop fly, that one to the right side, but was right on the line. And that but MacNSeitz so far this inning, or so far this game rather, have been fielding well behind Kilman. Pop fly right side. Crowther tracking that one down, and it's trouble. That is fair. Over there at first. I thought he would have had maybe a better opportunity, and I think Crowther thought he was going to take it. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. Somebody was going to track it down. Boys meet up there at the mound and kind of talk about their strategy and how they'll handle this no-out, bases-loaded situation. So obviously force out any base, including home plate. And he missed just outside. So 2 pitches, 2 balls. Little chipper right side, and man, I tell you what, the Cubs are just pounding that spot. I think we may need to kind of adjust and do a little bit of a shift there. It does look like Crowther is playing a little bit shallower. Between center and right field. Ball right back to Kilman. And a nice job. I tell you what a great, great play. He fires it to Brody Rice, who's right there at the plate, and he makes a nice throw down to first, and we get a double play. And score remaining 0-0. So Cubs still in a position here where they have got runners in scoring position, second and third base now. Merrill at the plate. And this one's going to get through the infield. That will be an RBI single, and then it gets by Tucker Lee in the outfield. And that costs. And now, unbelievable. So a fielding error out there in left field. Ends up.
All right, boys, one more now.
And so. With a nice single right between short and third base, and then the left fielder lets it get by him. So where only one run should have scored, two score, and then he makes a throw into second base, and second baseman stands on the base and never moves his feet. At second base, they call him out. And the Cubs in a little bit of in disbelief on that pickoff attempt. But that'll get MacNSeitz. And once again, it's an error really leading to those runs rather than anything else. But give credit where credit's due. Howard County Cubs came up with back-to-back singles to start their inning off. Kilman ended up coming back, having zero outs with the bases loaded. End up with a MacNSeitz with a double play, no run score. Looks like the Cubs will stick with number 24, Parks, up there on the bump.
Super dusty.
All right. And so I was calling it out wrong, folks. That has not been Parks up there on the bump. That has been Smith. And I was incorrectly looking at the little lineup here. But Smith doing a good job so far, holding his own here with MacNSeitz. Now Cooper. So 3 pitches, 3 balls, and probably not the way that Smith wanted to start his third inning. Earns a walk right there. That'll bring up number 3, Bryson Spear. And so Cooper with good speed on the base paths over there takes his lead off on first. Bryson Spear at and a swing and miss. So he'll start out down 0-1. And Cooper leaning more towards first base. Doesn't look like he's prepared to take a base at all. MacNSeitz looking to get some runs on the board. This one misses inside. It's a pass ball, and Cooper, watching intently, makes his way over to second uncontested.
Absolutely hit him.
So didn't, and so obviously somebody has to be in charge. Unfortunately, not us. And pitch will have another opportunity to continue pitching right here. And he fouls that one straight back. So that'll make it a full count now, and what seemingly could have been a free base for Spear now results in a full count. Walk, and that'll put the first two batters this inning on base, second and first. So Smith with a little bit of control issues there to start, and it looks like the Cubs coaching staff wants to take a quick look. Also looks like one of my cameras there. Yeah. All right, folks, that's going to bring up Grant Warren to the plate. Strike. So nobody down. I think that probably would have been a good opportunity for us to lay a bunt down. And coming right across the plate, I'm surprised he drew that back. And showing bunt once again, but draws back. Or the bat back, rather, out there on that first pitch. Really could have caught the Cubs off balance there. Shows bunt again and draws it back for strike two. Wow, a little bit inexplicable. And a strike three call. So two opportunities to lay that bunt down. He did not do so, and now we have one down. Runner still on first and second. But that'll bring us back to the top of the lineup, and now number 23, Brody Ryson at the plate. So maybe you can hear that in the background. Once again, find ourselves in the flight path for the Omaha International. I say that a bit in jest because I'm not sure what the name of the Omaha airport is, but ball in play, right past pitch, and the second baseman bobble. On reaching on air, but that's going to load the bases for number 5, Mason Gellender. So just one down here, bottom of the third, and MacNSeitz with a good opportunity to put some runs on the board. So that ball just barely getting by that second baseman for the Cubs. And fortunately for them, they had an outfielder who was right on top of it and ready to.
Everybody's moving. You know where you're going.
And 2 pitches, 2 strikes, and Smith, who struggled in the beginning of the inning, finds a couple of quick strikes here against Gellender. Oh, here comes Cooper, and the boys advance. And a run comes across the plate. That'll be 2-1 now. So Cooper McCown doing a good job. Big curveball coming from Smith right there. Bounced up and hit the face mask of Catch. know it was situated nearby. So good-looking back pick by Catch over there. But Bryson Spear getting back, no problem. So Gellender working on a 2-2 count. Smith going back to working from the windup. And a nice looking hit right there. And gets that tying run across the plate. So good job by him. Ties the game up, and now Tucker Lee with an RBI opportunity and a good runner over there at second base. So Tucker fouls that first one back. He wanted that one. So pitch takes quite a little while up there on the bump, eventually going back for a pickoff attempt over there at second base. Yeah, puts this one in play, but it's a dribbler right back to pitch. So Smith comes up with the third out before giving up the lead, and MacNSeitz putting 2 on the board. That'll tie it up now 2-2 and take us to top of 4. So close matchup here, and nobody really banging any kind of big run production, but runners in most of the innings, and I tell you what, we've got a close one. right, folks. Looks like warm-up's in, and we're all about ready to go. So leading off this inning for the Howard County Cubs is going to be McNulty, followed by Rowe and then Cunningham. Gillen saying he's good to go, and play will commence. So McNulty, a lefty. Batting in that cleanup spot for the Cubs, but leading off here. And a little ground ball, one pitch and one out. And that's the type of pitch efficiency, man, you'd love to see. So that was a ground ball straight to Simons over there at first base. And so some interesting defensive adjustments over here. Simons typically playing so often at third and even at times, I believe, short, but playing first base while Kilman taking the mound. A little chipper. Oh, and that gets down for a single. Thought Mason Gellender over there at short was going to have an opportunity, but that ball did carry a little bit farther. So a hit for Rowe, and that'll bring up Cunningham. Runner goes. And that throw well off the mark. I think it's a ball. High fly ball, left side. And Lee, man, I tell you what, 15, 20 steps past the foul line. He made quick haste over there, but couldn't quite get there. Showing two in the right, I don't know. And a strike three call. Probably not one that Cunningham really was too excited about, but takes it like a champ and heads back to the dugout. He'll be followed by Lesko. So runner on second. That would be the go-ahead run. MacNSeitz with two down here. That ball coming across 55 miles an hour. And once again, Kilman not a killer velocity-wise, but tell you what, I've yet to see him with really a bad outing. Got to really wonder as he makes his way through this roster a couple of times as these guys are getting a chance to see him more and more. It's really that third time around where guys kind of start to dial in on somebody. So it'll be interesting to see if we do a pitching change, and also not only that, but giving Kilman an opportunity to possibly pitch and bracket play. Last time seemed like I think he pitched a complete game in a pool play game, but then we didn't have him for the rest of the tournament. So always a lot of different strategies. Obviously important to win games in pool play. Showing bunt. Pulls that back, and I don't think he had any intention of bunting as he draws ball 4 and a walk. That'll bring up number 4, Johns. So Cubs looking for a little 2-out rally. And MacNSeitz looking to put an end to this inning. Fouls that one inside out. Parker Simons trying to get there, but does not make it. Kilman will now work with an 0-1 count. And strike 2. Man, that's almost like an ephus pitch. That one coming across 51 miles an hour. And for any of you that don't know what an ephus pitch is, it's just trying to throw as slow as you possibly can and get it across the plate. I'm not sure that's exactly what Kilman did there, but. And it comes back with a fastball. This one's going to be tough. He legs that one out. And I tell you what.
There you go. Way to battle. Hey, it's okay. Get out of it now.
I tell you what, that's been kind of the critique here for the left side of the infield is not charging the ball quite enough. That is Mason Gellender playing short, and he did charge the ball. I just don't know that he charged it quickly or fast enough, early enough. Makes the play over at first, but ball not in time. And that loads the bases for the Cubs. Kind of a killer because as a pitcher, man, you get that little ground ball, and that's exactly what you want. You have to trust your defense behind you. This one gets through the infield right side. 1 run scores. 2's coming. And throw's not in time.
Tommy, there you go, fellas. Let's go. That's a big 2-out rally.
So a single will result in 2 more runs. Now the Cubs up 4-2. Yep. And that's what you call a narrow miss. I got a ball from another ball field and actually hit my table. I don't know how it didn't hit any of my equipment. Better say my Hail Marys later tonight. But nonetheless, play continues on our field here. And MacNSeitz still looking for that 3rd out. And strike 3 call. I apologize, not a call. That is a swing and a miss for strike 3. And that'll do it for us here in the inning. Alex Kilman still continuing to pitch a nice little game right here. Cubs hands off to them. They're able to leg a couple out. That importantly gives them a little bit more opportunity, and they come up with a 2 RBI single, and they take the lead now 4-2. MacNSeitz will have to look to get some production, and we'll be leading off with Sebastian Wingrove, followed by Parker Simons. Well, the bottom of the fourth, and that brings a new pitcher for the Howard County Cubs. And so Smith being replaced by number 55, Blatty. And leading off for our MNS Black team, Parker Simons. Really need to get over there and fix that camera, don't I?
Hey, that's a tough one. That's all right, 2-7. We'll get it.
Oh, chases one outside. That one coming in just 63 miles an hour and quickly getting down to the count here, 0-2. Oh, and he gets him on a beautiful-looking curveball. So 3 pitches, 3 strikes. And Blatty makes quick work of Simons. But that's going to bring up number 10, Sebastian Seabass Wingrove. We'll see if he can't get something going here for our MacNSeitz team. And a first pitch strike. Blatty is on the case. Misses outside right there. And now Wingrove will work on a 1-1 count. Wingrove calls a timeout just before Blatty moved into motion. And Blatty actually quick pitched him anyway, even after that timeout. This time, Wingrove smartly stays in the box. Now he's ready. Swing and a miss and drop third strike, but the throw over to first is in time. So that brings up Paxton Crowther, and now MacNSeitz going to have to work. Maybe we can get a little magic here and work on a 2-out rally ourselves. As the Howard County Cubs came up with 2 runs on 2 outs. Pop fly, left side, third baseman calling for it. And that is out number 3. So the Howard County Cubs making quick work of MacNSeitz, going 3 up, 3 down. And that'll take us to top of the 5th. All right, and so MacNSeitz makes a change as we expected, although that change may not be quite what we expected. Pitching strategy-wise, kind of going from a movement guy to maybe more of a velocity guy. But Kilman really doing a great job up there on the bump, and I think a number of those runs coming across the plate likely unearned. I'd have to go back in and take a look at all the analytics behind it all, but just kind of off the top of my head, my memory. So now 3-1 count. So Ryson works his way back to oh my goodness, that is an unusual name, Orpert. I think if that's right, O-R-P-U-R-T. And no doubt I butchered his name, but he draws a leadoff walk. over to the mound. So I'm not sure if he's just wanting to talk about the calls and whatnot.
When they called the timeout, who's out there with this? Calm down.
So infield meeting now over. Oh, yeah? It's a good idea.
Hey, you just gotta find it, 2, 3.
Strike.
Nice.
And so Ryson getting off to a little bit of a count.
He had a strike. That was a strike.
Keep it up there.
Fly ball right side. This one kind of deep.
Catch it. Good job.
Crowther pulls that.
This umpire's very delayed on his calls, but he called it a strike. Half an hour later.
Maybe I fell asleep before he called it a strike. I don't know.
It's possible that could happen.
So
Ball, think about it, think
folks
about
around
the
me
call.
telling me a little bit of a slow call on the strike, but pop fly. Second baseman calling for it, and that is out number 2. This on Tuesday is the guys really trying to be more have a louder voice and really trying to take command of the ball when they believe that they have it. And I've certainly seen that here today, even in the first game. And that has been a good welcome change because it seemed to be there for a few games. The boys were just not taking control of those pop flies in no man's land. I'm pretty sure that was
That
ball.
was a ball. Yeah.
Thanks very much there, 2, 3. Yeah, bub.
So MacNSeitz really needing to hold the Cubs here. Trying to give themselves an opportunity to crawl back into this one. It's 4-2, top of the 5th. And so a pretty good throw down. I'm not sure they just did not grab the ball and apply the tag. I don't know. It was a good-looking throw. And catch is maybe a little bit frustrated. I can't blame him. Now 1-1 count. Ball right up the middle. Handled by shortstop.
Nice job.
And that is out number 3. Woo! Man, oh man, that one was close by the skin of the teeth. But some good footwork and a nice throw over, and that'll be out number 3. MacNSeitz holds the Cubs in that inning, and now score still 4-2. That'll take us to bottom of the 5th, and you'll see over here on the right side of your screen, Coach Baker talking to the team before they head into the dugout, trying to rally the troops, and let's get a little something going run production-wise. Looks like the Cubs will stick with Blatty out there on the mound, and we'll take a short break here in between innings. right, folks. So bottom of the fifth, Alex Kilman at the plate. And a swing and a miss on a stretch and a curveball. So some really good movement on the pitching out there. I don't know if these boys are seeing that that's on the outside of the plate and trying to go for it or what. But Kilman doing a good job laying off on that one. Swing and a pitch, a swing and a miss on pitch number 3, and that'll make it a 1-2 count. No contact on the bat right now. And this is exactly what MacNSeitz needs to do with Blatty. They need to hold off, get a little deeper in the count, make him throw some strikes. I tell you what, he's looked pretty good up here to start. And Kilgrove. Oh, look at that, Chowgrove. Chowgrove. I keep talking about his nickname that Seabass gave him, and I tell you what, I just can't get it right out here on the stream. But he does a great job battling one off there. And a quality AB here so far. Let's see if he can put one into play. That one down, and he draws a walk. So an all too important. And a nice little stroke right there for McCowan. He's up for a single. He just can't even understand it. Unbelievable. He gets gunned down at third, and like, it would be different if the outfielder didn't field it cleanly or whatever, but he just rounded second, and it's like he had decided early on he was going to third. Just made absolutely zero sense for him. And no outs. We have one base runner and an out. We just cannot seem to have a clean game without a ton of errors. Been calling for it, and that'll be out number 2. Doggone it, man. What a frustrating piece of baseball right there, where Kilman has a great quality at finally comes up with a really nice looking single. And a base running error creates an out. That's Grant Warren, and he puts one in play right side. And that's out number 3. So what looked like the start of a very promising inning ends up being. And so some good energy going into their dugout, of course, and MacNSeitz needing to find a little bit of grit and perseverance here to kind of dig in and hold the Cubs here so we can get back into this one. Looks like MacNSeitz will. wonderful wife has joined us here in Omaha at the Battle of Omaha. And I tell you what, man, she's just taking our cooler and leaving it out in the sun. Just a bit late. That's number 44. That gets over the right fielder's head. And he's up with a leadoff double. That was number 44, McNulty. Great stroke right there. High in the sky, kind of saw it off the bat. And by the time he switched directions with his hips and got moving in the right direction, that ball was over his head. But good job on the relay. And getting it in, holding him only to a double. Could have easily been stretched out for a triple. To the play. Showing bunt. I don't think he has any. Oh, he does try to lay it down. And Spear is able to come up with that pop-up off the bunt. And that'll be out number one. That'll bring up number 12, Cunningham, to the plate. Once again, runner on second here. Top of the sixth, just one down. Score 4-2 in favor of the Howard County Cubs. From MacNSeitz ought to just live over there today. Kind of that spot just in no man's land. Past first base, foul territory, and Paxton Crowther comes up with that pop fly for out number two. That'll bring up Lesko for the Cubs. So Ryson coming in 67 miles an hour. And two pitches, two fastballs, both just a bit high. And need to bring that down. And I'm sure you continue to hear the jets flying overhead. Think we're in the flight path, and I don't think that's going to change. Oh, that ball bumps off the glove for Spear, and Cubs runner McNulty doing a good job making his way over to third. So once again, this is Lesko at the plate. Popped up, this one out of play. Tell you what, a little excitement here at the ballpark earlier. A game over here just across the way. Had to kick out just doggone near the entire fan base, and ultimately resulted in a forfeit. So Ryson walks Lesko, and that'll put runners on the corners. That'll bring up number 4, Johns. So looking for just one more out, trying to not give up any more runs. Little pickoff attempt over at third. I don't think Parker Simons was even quite ready for that one. And a strike call there.
Hey, still nothing hurt, bro.
Not in time. That'll put runners on second and third. That one missing just outside. Right now. And it's a bit of a swelter out here. Thankful for a little bit of the shade. Pass ball. Runner does not advance. We'll say that the backstop here is pretty shallow from the home plate, and so obviously every field is a little bit different here, but the backstop's here pretty shallow, a little tougher to advance from third. We'll say that runner has to be really ready to go for it. Coach Baker calling for a timeout. And he'll take time for a little mound visit right here. So still got a blue. And I imagine he's got to be thinking about his pitching staff, who else he has left, how many games we're going to end up playing tomorrow, and whether or not we're going to make a change here. Doesn't look like he's asked for the ball. And typically when he's made that decision, he's already got his palm out. So looks like he will stick with Ryson would be my guess. So that brings up number 99, Davis, for the Cubs. Bases loaded. And Ryson working from the pickoff attempt over there at second. And, man, had he just waited a moment longer, I think he would have seen him get quite a little bit further off the bag. Fly ball, center fielder calling for it. And out number 3. So MacNSeitz able to hold the Cubs there, and the Cubs leaving 3 on base. This will be our opportunity to kind of get things going. And we're starting at the top of our lineup. Brody Ryson followed by Mason Gallender and then Tucker Lee. Well, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Bottom of the 6th. MacNSeitz down 2. And Brody Ricing up first. Takes ball down in the dirt. And the Cubs do stick with Blatty out there on the mound, and why not? He hadn't given up any runs yet. That one a bit of a hanging curve right there. Don't think it ever broke. So some good movement, but ball number 2, and now a 2-1 count for Ricing to work with. That one up high, now 3-1 count. Oh, he rips this one. Third base side. And I tell you what, man, that third baseman caught a screamer right in the glove, bounced right out, and very calmly picked that one up. Some good-looking footwork, and made a nice throw over there for out number 1. That's going to bring up Mason Gellender. He turns on this one. High pop fly left field. And I tell you what, man, not more than a handful of pitches and 2 outs. If MacNSeitz going to do anything, we're going to have to do it here. And so the Cubs coach calling for a timeout. Looks like he's going to make a pitching change. This may have to do with the tournament rules and how many outs, how many pitches, that kind of thing. I'm not sure. That, or maybe there's a little gamesmanship here in the amount of time, and that's what I believe it is. Don't let him rest out there too long. He got no reason to call a timeout. He's just trying to expire game time. And so home plate umpire walking out to the mound, getting ready to break up the sojourn. Yep, and as I expected, they did not make a pitching change. No reason to, just trying to make it through this inning without having to start a 7th. Well, that's number 27, Tucker Lee at the plate.
Good eye.
See if Tuck can get a little something going here for MacNSeitz. Maybe a little 2-out rally and get some things going. Ooh. Swing and a miss, and halfway through, Tucker knew that was not going the way he had hoped. Tucker with a high fly ball, center field. Nope, shortstop. And the Cubs make quick work of MacNSeitz in back-to-back innings. Blatty doing a good job getting the pitches that he was wanting. And a couple of quick pop flies, and that'll do it for us. So that takes us to top of the 7th. And MacNSeitz will have to hold them here. They have at least one more opportunity to get back into this one. Short audio pause for me. Pop fly right side, and that one over the right shoulder of Paxton Crowther. He's not able to pull that one in. That is Alex Kilman over there in right field. What's that?
Give me the hotel key. I'm going to go take a nap.
So that's Beatty at the plate, number 55 for the Cubs. MacNSeitz stick with Ryson up there on the hill. And a swing and a miss. Ryson with the strikeout. That'll bring up number 3, Orpert, for the Cubs. So we'll see if Ryson's able to keep it dialed in here. Sitting right at about 68 on the vast majority of his pitches. And 2 pitches, 2 balls. Now he's looking for a different ball. Fickle is the mind of a pitcher at times. Last ball he struck a guy out. 2 pitches later he wants a new one. Gets a strike right there, and now 2-1 count. So a tough miss right there, and that'll make it a 3-1 count. Well, that'll be a full count now. And after Orpert is the top of the Cub lineup, and waiting on deck is Smith. This one in play over to short. And good for out number 2. So we'll say MacNSeitz played a much better game this second game. That first one was just a hot mess. Battling back and earning a draw as the game time expired. So down 2 here in top of the 7th. Looking to close things out and then get back in the box themselves. Big swing and a miss. Now 1-1 count. Man, I tell you what, I don't know what that bat is that he's swinging. Is that a DeMarini? What is that? That sucker's got a huge barrel on it. Looks like a, yeah, that's what I was going to say. It looked like a little bit of like a softball bat. Ball in play. This one's going to be over to short. And, man, he is screaming down the line.
No.
And the call is safe. So he legs that one out. And quick out of the box, quick down the line. I couldn't tell you if it was out or safe, but it was definitely a narrow call. And so person best situated for that, certainly the umpire out there in the field. Now that brings up 33 Parks. And Brody Ryson with a good job so far. Gets those ground balls that we were looking for, and MacNSeitz just not able to come up with a play right there, but still nothing harmed so far. See if we can get this third out. So Parks reaching on that one. Fouls it off. And now he'll work with an 0-2 count. Runner goes. Ball in play. And center fielder brings that one in for out number 3. Well, this may very well be MacNSeitz' last opportunity to get some runs on the board here. We will have Parker Simons followed by Sebastian Wingrove.
Legs. Arm.
Let's go, Park. Start off, buddy.
And so the Cubs stick with Blatty out there on the hill. And he starts off with a strike call right there on Simons.
Good eye, bud. Not you, 2-7. It's okay. Got it. Put it in place.
That one right down the line, but just foul before third base. And he'll work with an 0-2 count.
Hey, way to follow that all the way in.
Swing and a miss. Simons goes down swinging. That's going to bring up Sebastian Wingrove, and waiting on deck is Paxton Crowther. So MacNSeitz down to their last 2 outs. And Wingrove fouls this one out of play. Got to tell you, I watched a Royals game here, what was it, last week, and they were kind of in a similar boat, just down 2 runs and going into bottom of the 9th in theirs, and they were able to come out with a rookie and a nice-looking ball. It was a lot of fun to watch, see them battle their way back and win that one. Watch a rookie with his first at-bat coming up big. After the fact, Bobby Witt, after the game was all done, everybody's over there cheering the rookie on. And Bobby Witt, man, he runs out there and gets the ball and makes sure that that rookie ends up with his first major league walk-off hit. A lot of fun to watch. Now 1-2 count to Wingrove. That'll even it up, and Wingrove. Oh, just foul. That would have been a nice little piece of hitting. Just over the third baseman's head, and ends up going about 5 feet foul. That one coming inside, and Wingrove with a smile on his face because the Cubs fan base calling for a strike right there. And that one right down the line. Third baseman coming up with it, but throw is not in time as Wingrove legs that one out. Nice play by a third baseman getting the glove on the ball. Got somebody just kind of walked right into my viewing area there, so I couldn't quite see the actual glove. But still just one down here, and MacNSeitz now with a tying run at the plate. So some of the Cubs fan base walking off the field like this game's over. I'll tell you what, I hope that's the kind of bad omen that, or good omen for us that we need. Paxton Crowther puts one in play, and second baseman and that may be it for Blatty out there on the bump. So while his last mound visit in another inning was maybe a little gamesmanship trying to slow that game down a little bit, their orders drawn out, just one down, runners on first and second, so you got to force at all bases. And he does indeed stick with Blatty. And up at the plate now, number So here's typically where I'm going to hear a little bit more chatter out of that MacNSeitz dugout. They're a little bit flat, and that is a little surprising to see. I do see the guys up on the fence. Nice ball right at shortstop. This could be a double play tie. Oh! And the second baseman cost the Howard County Cubs. Now bases loaded, and number 44, Cooper McCowan. His last at-bat with a fantastic single in between center and left field. So, folks, MacNSeitz Cowan fouls that one out. Left side out of play. Oh, boy, oh, boy. One run scores. And now MacNSeitz continues. Bases loaded, just one down, and Bryson Spear at the plate. One-run game. 4-3, favor of the Cubs. Spear fouls that one back. Pop fly, left side. It's going to be a little shallow for. I tell you what, that's a tough call. He was awfully shallow in a good position to make a strong throw home. And now only time will tell whether or not that was the right call. So one of the smaller strike zones in 14U. And this ball in play right over to shortstop. And that is going to be, an error. The first baseman misses. And 2 runs score. That is going to be So that'll do it for us out here today at the Battle of Omaha. MacNSeitz coming up with a big W right there. And I tell you what, how is the biggest thing that you can do. Woo! An exciting finish right there, and I think one that maybe the Cubs did not see coming. A number of errors in that last inning, and they just could not close things out. MacNSeitz persisting and coming up with a W there. So going 1-0-1 in pool play, and we'll see what comes up with the break. Appreciate everybody here. Going to wish the Cubs good luck in the remainder of their tournament, and look for our MacNSeitz boys to start rolling. Thanks so much for